Welcome, family. Today I'm making chocolate cupcakes with chocolate frosting. I laid in bed last night and I was like, I want chocolate. So here we are making chocolate cupcakes. Come join me. Okay, I have the oven on 350. And this is kind of like you just dump in the ingredients. There's no order to the ingredients in this one. You just dump them in. Start with 2 cups of sugar. This is my favorite chocolate cake recipe. I've been making this for years and years. And now I'm going to add 1 cup of Hershey's cocoa. You can use whatever kind of cocoa you want. Sometimes I like to use extra dark to make it a really rich cake, but you don't get any sleep when you eat it like that. Okay, and 1 tablespoon of soda, baking soda. And 2 eggs. And I checked my eggs. I floated them in, or I put them in water to see if they floated or not, and they did not, so they're good. 2½ cups flour. And I'm just gonna dump the flour in there. I'm not gonna sift it or anything. Okay, 2½ cups. Yep, there we go. Well, I'm making a lot of noise, don't I? I know. My family lets me know that, especially in the morning. I cannot be quiet. I don't know why. I'm sure I drove my family crazy when I was little. Okay, now 1 cup of buttermilk, but I don't have buttermilk on hand. So I used milk and a little bit of lemon juice. And that works just fine. I've been doing it like this for years. And 1 tablespoon of vanilla. And 1 cup of oil. I'm using just plain vegetable oil. It's the most neutral in flavor. And 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now I'm going to mix this up. Okay, now, and the last thing, mix that up, and then the last thing you add after you mix it a little bit is 1 cup of boiling water. And be very careful when you're mixing now. Make sure you scrape that bottom part too, because sometimes the stuff gets caught in the bottom of the mixer. And it's a pretty thin batter, so okay, that's good. All right, now I'm going to take this over to, I'm going to fill the cupcake trays. Okay, I'm just going to use a measuring spoon here I'm just gonna fill them. I like big cupcakes, so I fill them about 3/4 full. I'm using a 1/3 cup, and that seems to work out just perfectly. Those aside. Okay, now we'll do these, see how far we get on these. And these are fun to give away. I mean, people, it's nice to have cupcakes, and like I'll be sending some home with my girlfriends. She can just throw them in the freezer and thaw them out and have a treat. I don't know if my husband doesn't really care for cake of any kind. He doesn't like the texture of cake, so I don't make him a cake on his birthday. He would rather have Reubens. When I lived with my foster family, it was a tradition that we had, breakfast was always a pancake birthday breakfast with candles and the stack of pancakes. But I can't get my husband to eat pancakes either, so that's no fun. But I like pancakes, and I make them and freeze them. And then when I just want a pancake, you know, sometimes it's just like having a sweet treat. If you have a sweet tooth, and you can just have a pancake. Okay, I just got a wet paper towel here, and I just wipe it up like this. Okay. Now we're going to put them in the oven. I'm going to check them in 20 minutes, and I'll test them with a toothpick or whatever you have to test them. Okay, now while the cupcakes are baking, I'm going to bake the frosting. And I have never used measurements in my frosting. I go by looks because I like it really fluffy. But I always start out with 1 stick of softened butter. Okay, I'm just going to give this a little whip here, the butter first. Okay, now I am going to add, I suppose I'm going to say about a cup, because I like it really chocolatey. So I'm going to add a cup of cocoa in it. And you see, this is about 1/4 of a bag. I usually put in like a 1/2 bag of powdered sugar. That usually is what gives me enough. So we'll see from there. And this time, I am going to put in, I got this English Toffee Cappuccino. So I'm just going to throw in a couple tablespoons of this just for an extra fun flavor. And I'll try to see. Okay, now. While this is running, I am going to be adding a little bit of milk at a time. Like I said, I don't have any measurements. I'm putting in about 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. And let's see what happens here. I will start with, I'm going to start with a half a cup of milk, and if I don't use it all, I don't use it all. Just a little less than half. I'm going to dump a little bit in there. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to want to add just a little more powdered sugar to that. Okay, now I want to try it. Okay. Okay, I'm going to need some more. I'm going to add another heaping, couple more. And a little more milk. And I'm going to add a little bit more of vanilla. Just because I added more powdered sugar because I want more frosting. I'm going to get some of this off of here. Okay, it's starting to get there. I know, I'm so weird about getting this dirty. I have to clean it while I'm using it. So weird. I'm just like that. Everything in this house has to be in its place. If it's off center just a little bit, I see it, I have to change it. But my little issues make me a good worker. Because in my job, everything has to be just right and it has to be organized. All right. That looks very fluffy. Yes. And it's just got a hint of the coffee flavor to it. It'll taste very good. All right. So I ended up using probably almost a whole bag of powdered sugar, a couple tablespoons of vanilla, a whole stick of butter, and about 4 tablespoons of the coffee powder, the instant coffee powder, the instant cappuccino powder, and about, I'm gonna say about 3/4 cup of milk, give or take. And see, this is, the frosting is just, it's just what I want. It almost becomes a really light color when it's been beaten enough. Okay, these came out, toothpick was clean. So now I'm just gonna let them cool, because they gotta be cooled completely before you frost them. And with this cake batter, sometimes it does sink a little bit, but it's a really moist cake. They're cooled down, so now I am going to frost them. Just going to give it a little. They're very moist and soft, so you have to be careful. But they're very good, very moist. And the frosting is delicious. And just do that for all of them. Kind of like an art project. Sculpting. See, in some of it, you just do what you can. Because it's just going to taste so good, that's all. So there you go. Beautiful chocolate cupcakes with chocolate frosting with instant cappuccino mix. And you can choose what you want. You don't have to put that in there, but I just wanted some kind of different flavor. So thanks for joining me today for chocolate cupcakes with chocolate frosting. And the frosting, like I said, cappuccino flavoring in it. English toffee. It's delicious. And you could put sprinkles on there, whatever you want to do. Or you can even shave off little curls of chocolate. That would be good too. If you really want to get fancy. I'm going to have one as soon as I'm done with this video. I'm going to sit down and relax. Thanks for subscribing and joining the family. And I really appreciate you. And thank you again. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. We have fun. I have fun. I hope you do too. So remember, stay busy and serve others. Bye for now.